Hey everyone, it's Tay of Shantae Plans and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'll be memory planning the week of December 12th to the 18th, and I'm using the September mystery kit from Sadie Stickers. I remember when this mystery kit was released and oh my god, it's so gorgeous. The colors are so beautiful. It had like the most amazing add-ons, and I remember a lot of chatter on Instagram and people like feeling the FOMO who didn't get this mystery kit. And that's the tricky thing about mystery kits, because you never know, like, right? I'm subscribed to Sadie's mystery kits, so I get them each month, and sometimes they're not exactly like a perfect match for me, and then sometimes you get a kit like this and you're just like, oh my god, everything about this is perfect. And I fell in love with the September mystery kit, knew I wanted to use it for winter, and I was so excited when I sat down to start this spread. But also, there were so many amazing things in this spread, I almost didn't know where to start. And so I am starting my spread totally different for me, because I am starting with the date cover deco, because at this point I still wasn't sure what exactly I wanted to do with the bottom washi, because there were so many great clip art add-on pieces that I thought about doing my own bottom washi, like making my own, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to do that or use the bottom washi that came in the kit. And so I just was like, okay, start at the top, put that down, and then you'll figure it out. And so I started at the top using some of the florals and some of the combo garland, and then I added in some of the snowflake garland that was included as the add-on for the kit. And I gotta be honest with you, I've seen other people do this where they line the floral trim at the top of the page and have the garlands coming down out from under it. I feel like typically when I put my florals at the top, I tend to line the bottom of it up with the top of the column and have the florals facing upward rather than having them coming downward from the top of the page. And I think I prefer them going upward, either that or I just didn't figure out how to do this properly, because I like the date cover deco, but I'm not in love with it. If I'm just being completely honest about it, I feel like it's the one thing when I look at this spread, if I could do this spread over, I would change my date cover deco just a little bit, but it's okay. It did come out fine. So I am adding in the trims and adding in the garlands and all of that. And you see me here just finishing lining up my florals, and then I'm bringing in some of the individual snowflakes. I love that, especially when because I wanted to keep it very sort of clean and simple. So I wanted it to be all just about the florals and about the garland, and then those little clusters of snowflakes to make it look very wintry and very I guess what I'm looking for is just like flurries of snow. Was kind of like the visual I was going for with that. And I really loved combining the garlands that had the snowflakes on them with the regular combo garland. Because that first garland that I put down is not a part of the kit. I got that separately from a $2 Tuesday from Sadie Stickers. Which I always like to point out when things are $2 Tuesday, because $2 Tuesday stickers, they go up for that week with Sadie Stickers when she does those, with most shops actually. They'll release things on Tuesdays and they're on special discount. And then once that week is over, the stickers usually are pulled from the shop. And so it's really exciting. Each week there's something new and seasonal and or on trend or that matches up with something the shop is releasing. And so it's a lot of fun because it just keeps everything fresh and exciting each week in the planner community. And so I'm just now putting down some more of the cute little snowflakes. And then once I got that done, I realized, okay, I absolutely do want to go with creating my header style sidebar. And so as I was figuring that out, then I realized, okay, well then let's just do the bottom washi that came with the kit, because I wanted to keep it very clean and simple, because I didn't want to have too much going on. I felt like if I did my own bottom washi and then did my own header style sidebar, that was going to be too much. And so when I got to doing the bottom washi, decided let's just pull the regular bottom washi that came with the kit, and I'm not going to add anything extra to it. And then I was really going through the kit and trying to figure out which elements I was going to use. And it was so difficult. There were so many great things in this kit. And so there was a lot of fun clip art to choose from. And so I was really trying to figure out, okay, what's going to be the thing, right? And I settled on the fireplace and the snow globe. I love snow globes, and I think that was one of the things that really attracted me to this kit. Is I knew I wanted to have a kit for one of my December spreads that included snow globes, and so moving into the sidebar, I'm flipping my sidebar on flipping my planner on the side, and I am just going to create a whole scene going sideways here. And I'm starting by putting down the torn paper from the kit. And Sadie Stickers does these foiled torn paper trims that you can line up, and they match the torn paper perfectly, and it gives you that extra pop of foil. This is my first time getting a chance to use one, and this foiled one came in her advent calendar. And I love it because it's just this solid pop of foil. And when you're looking at it on the sticker sheet, it kind of looks a little bit basic. But when you pair it with the torn paper, oh my goodness, that rich, solid pop of foil just looks so good on the page. I remember when I first started seeing the concept of foil behind torn paper and wondering if something daintier or something bolder was going to be my preference. And I am bolder when it comes to that foil pop behind torn paper. I think the bolder, the better. But I'm placing down my fireplace and the snow globe, and I used those two large elements to sort of anchor each side of that column. And then I'm layering some florals underneath it. Also pulled in these hanging ornaments. Those are from Paper Trail Plans. I pulled in that torn paper, which came off the journaling kit for this kit. And then I'm going to add in my month script, and decided I wanted that tucked under the snow globe, so I had to lift that up. I tend to do that a lot when I'm putting down the script. I will either tuck one side under some sort of decorative element and then leave the other side on top of the other element. And it's great because it's transparent matte. And so it doesn't like distract from what it's placed on top of. But sometimes I like doing that. Sometimes I'll put it where it's just completely on top of the deco that I have behind it. And sometimes I like tucking one end or the other. And then just finishing off by embellishing with some more of the snowflakes. This is from the freebie that came with the Pretty Pink Co order. She had a really great snowflake themed silver foiled freebie, and so I had two of them for my two recent orders from her. And I love that about her shop, because I have a freebie with the Pretty Pink Co, which you can get if you put my name in the notes. And I love that because she does that where you get the PR team freebie if you put the name in the notes, but then you also get an all order freebie from her shop that she changes seasonally. And her all order freebie for winter was just so great and really useful. I pulled it into a couple of my winter spreads, or maybe all of them. And now I'm just putting down the full boxes, and I'm scattering those because I like having my full week on 2 pages in my B6 planner. I tend to split the center column on each page. And so I don't put full boxes on those days, but the other days I do put full boxes on. And so I'm putting down those full boxes, and then I had the snowflake trims again from that Pretty Pink Co winter freebie. And I was just like, oh, these are perfect. And they'll just give me the cutest little pop of snowflake foil right on top of these full boxes. And I really loved the look of that. One of my habits that I've had for a long time is that I tend to place my favorite full box from the kit on Thursday. And then I usually always put it towards the top of the page. And I don't know if that's just like a psychological thing or something that's it's just like a fun quirk and a fun habit I've had since I've started planning. But you can always kind of tell which full box is my favorite because it's usually the one that's on Thursday. Moving on to the day by day, I started by putting down that snowflake header. I had the cutest little snow globe date dots from the Pretty Pink Co. And then I pulled the scripts from the journaling add-on sheet from this kit. And I liked them because they were not foiled. They were just in black. And I felt like that was really nice because there was a lot of foil happening. And then we are getting started with the first thing I'm marking, but I have to stop and say, this spread, right after I finished creating this spread, I created another video that's already posted on my channel. It's a Planner 101 video on how to use a journaling add-on page. And this spread was the inspiration for that video. I'd gotten a request from someone asking me to do a Planner 101 video, Planner 101 video. And those are videos where I teach planning classes and sort of just like break down different techniques. And they'd made the request. And so I remember getting that request and then sitting down and thinking, oh God, I love this. I love that idea of sharing different techniques. And so I wanted to just try out some different things, because if I was going to teach it, I was like, I should figure out what it is I'm going to say. And so I kind of used this spread as my guinea pig and just really focused on pulling in a lot of elements from that page. And I was just sort of looking at things and going, okay, well, here's this sticker, how would I use it? And that was like just like my thought process throughout this entire spread. I had so much fun, and it really allowed me to be very creative, which I love this hobby for so many reasons. I really enjoy planning. I enjoy organizing my life and knowing what I'm doing, which is why I use a functional planner and have for years. And then the memory planning element, which ties into my love of scrapbooking, makes this hobby just the most insane joy for me. But anywho, starting off on Monday, it was a rainy day, and it was like kind of a little bit of a joke. My boss texted that morning and she was like, let's all stay out of the rain and work from home, which, I mean, obviously we don't stay home from work every time it rains, but I was like, I will take any excuse you'd like to give us to work from home. Absolutely. And it was wonderful. So I got to work from home that Monday, and B and I watched Four Christmases. Typically around December, usually the first week of December, we kick into watching Christmas movies. It's one of our holiday traditions. We love watching different Christmas movies throughout the month of December. And Four Christmases is absolutely one of our favorites. It's hilarious. And then on to Tuesday, I did 20 minutes of cardio. On my stationary bike, I am working my way up to getting back into the habit of working out consistently. And then I also picked up my Secret Santa gift, or ordered a Secret Santa gift for one of my coworkers at work. So we were going to be doing a Secret Santa gift exchange the following week. And then on to Wednesday, the Planner Granny. I was nominated for a Planner Grammy, so I thought this was like the cutest thing. And I think for me, prior to being in the planner community, I was really active in the beauty community on YouTube. And there was one beauty YouTuber I used to watch. Her name was Emily, and she would do these things called the Emmy Awards annually, where she would highlight like the best in makeup and go through like different categories of like best eyeshadow, best blush, best lipstick. And I used to love watching those every single year. And so I remember when I saw that Shanice of Planners and Tacos was hosting the Planner Grammys, and I saw that and I was like, this is so cool. It immediately made me think of the Emily Awards. And I just think they're sort of a fun way of just sort of celebrating what's happening in your community. And because it's not like we're like actually going to an awards show, but it's just a way of just acknowledging and celebrating what's happening in the community. And I thought it was really fun and a great way for everyone to engage, because the way she did it, she opened up the different categories, allowed people to vote and nominate people for those different categories. And then you got to vote once she tallied the nominations and figured out, okay, who was going to be in the finals, then people got to vote for who won. So I thought it was really well done and a lot of work on her part. Well done, Shanice. And I was so humbled and excited to have been nominated. That was a really cool moment. And then that Wednesday, sorry, I'm already on Thursday, but backing up, we had our team lunch. Okay, is it just me, or are days where there's food at work the best days at work? Maybe that's just me. Those are my best days. It's always like, oh, there was a reason to come to work today. Food was that reason. On to Thursday, I started by doing the day cover for Thursday. I used the little snow globe, which was so cute. And I had to put it on Thursday because I had to put it on the second half of the page because I already had the big snow globe in my sidebar. but I absolutely knew I wanted to incorporate that snow globe again on the spread in some way. And then it was Thursday, and so I had watched the first 3 episodes of the Harry and Meghan documentary the previous Thursday, because it was a 6-part documentary that was released those 2 weeks back to back, and so I'd watched the first 3 episodes the previous Thursday, and so this Thursday the final 3 episodes were released, and I immediately jumped on to watch it because it was just so fascinating and interesting. I'm beyond obsessed with them. I adore Harry and Meghan. I love their love story. I think they are just like the cutest couple, and I just enjoy them. And it's weird when you like have like celeb crushes, I guess you could call it. I don't feel like I'm somebody who's like super like I would not consider myself a super fan by any means, because I don't obsess enough about any celebrity, I don't think. But I do consider myself a fan. I was very excited the moment I saw that documentary was being released. I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely watching the rest of this. And it's really funny, the tone of the documentary, because it starts off very happy, telling their love story in the first couple of episodes, and they're hinting at the fact that things are going to take a turn because the media is going to get crazy and turn their lives upside down. But it starts off, of course, like going through their life story from them being children all the way up to meeting each other and falling in love and getting married. And then you get to the second half of it, and it's like, we're being chased by the paparazzi. They're stalking us across continents. They're like everywhere, and they won't leave us alone, and we don't have enough security, and we've got to do evasive driving to get away from these crazy people. It just is like, what the heck did their lives become? It is insane. And so it goes from being this like adorable love story to like crazy adventure movie. So I loved it. But yeah, it's on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend. And then, we were doing what I wrote down and called open door training with our cats. And so B and I adopted 2 cats right before Thanksgiving. And so it was sort of, what we were trying to do was get them used to certain areas of the house at small amounts of times. Like we were trying to like build trust and make sure everything was cat proofed. And so it was just getting to sort of slowly expanding their territory and their range and where they were roaming around the house, and watching them in each room they went into to see what they were doing, what they were getting into, if we had missed moving something that needed to not be within their reach, which is phenomenal because cats can jump incredibly high, get into small, tight spaces. They go everywhere. And so it was just a process that week of just sort of giving them more access to different spaces, and slowly but surely like allowing them access to different rooms throughout the house, so that we could figure out how best to childproof and how to sort of get them set in an area where they felt really comfortable. So that was that process that week. It's owning a pet has been a learning experience and a learning curve that I did not see coming. This has been a very interesting journey. I am grateful for it. I adore them. This has been a lot of fun, but also a lot more work than I think I thought. Like, when I tell you, and I think mostly because it was such a like spur of the moment impulse decision in some ways. Like, we had been talking about getting a pet the entire year of 2022, but the moment we actually did it, that was an impulse moment. And so it was a lot of, okay, we have them. Now we have to get ready for them. On to Friday, we had a new release, I think, from Ray and Tay. We released our foil binders this week, which was so cool. They are gorgeous. I love those foil binders. And I reorganized all of my deco stickers into them. My $2 Tuesday deco stickers. Oh, this made my life so much easier, because each time I sit down to plan out a spread, I'm always pulling out the foil that I'm going to use that's going to work with that spread. And so now it's even easier because each of my foils are broken up into their own binders. I have a gold binder for all my gold, rose gold for all my rose gold, and silver for all of my silver foil deco stickers. And so it just is Oh, fantastic and wonderful. And I have plenty of room in the binders to allow my collections to grow, which is great because my $2 Tuesday collection of foil stickers grows every single week. Your girl has a sticker shopping problem and no regrets about it. And then I was chatting with Moshi on Instagram. I marked that and on to Saturday. Moshi, who by the way is Lauren of Plan Mosh Plan. Hey girl, hey. On to Saturday. I was working on my little cousin's baby book. It's so weird to call her my little cousin because of the age difference between us. I think of her as like my niece, but she's my cousin's daughter, so she's technically my second cousin. But it's weird when you have that. And I was talking to my other cousin who she's Indian, so cousin by marriage, and we were talking about that dynamic, and she was saying, yeah, it's weird when you have that age gap because in her culture, oh god, and now I forget how like she described it, but it was like they don't say like great aunts or second cousins the way that we do in Black American culture. So it's just really interesting because it's one of those things where it's like, no, because of the age difference, she doesn't feel like a cousin. She feels like a niece. Anywho, and then I was working on my certificate. I'm taking a certification course, and I tell you what, when I went back to school and got my master's, when I was done with that, I was like, I'm never learning anything again. I don't ever want to go to school ever anymore, which is how you feel as an adult when you finally get your free time back after finishing a long MBA course. And then life goes, haha, no, life is a lifelong learning journey, and you have to learn new skills and you have to stay brushed up on different things because there are certain things you want to do with your career. So you have to have these skills. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. It sucks, but in like a not so bad way. Yeah, but anywho, which is important to say because as it's January at the time that I'm doing the voiceover for this, and I'm trying to figure out what my schedule is going to be because for the next couple of months, I am moving my planning to only something that I'm doing on weekends because during the week after I get home from work, instead of planning, I'm going to be working on this certification course for a couple of months. And so it's definitely going to interrupt my filming schedule. But I really want to focus on this because I'm excited about working on some new skills and things, and it's really interesting. I'm loving it, but it's a lot of work. But I'm just learning some different things with SQL and Tableau and R and all of that type of stuff. Anywho, yeah, so I'm working on that, and then on Sunday I painted my nails, mounted the TV on the wall, and that was because of the cats. He had gotten tired of the cats jumping onto the TV stand and wanted it up and out of their reach. And then I did voiceover for To Plan With Me. So that finishes up this spread. And if you would like to see more details on how I did all of the layering and what went into using the journaling add-on kit, I do have a whole video dedicated to that. If you have any questions about any of the stickers I used, because I was very chatty in this voiceover, let me know and I will be sure to answer that down in the comments. I hope you're all having an amazing day and I will see you next video.